Alright, it's time to answer a question which a lot of people have been asking me. Do you think that I should get LA Noire? And is it worth getting again? To answer the question of should you get it again is kind of like entirely up to you. Did you enjoy the game enough to wanting to replay it, and also maybe the DLCs as well? One of the nicer things about LA Noire, quote unquote remastered, is that there's also all the DLC cases included, and they're also included within the main story in chronological order, which means that you don't exactly have to do these cases separately after you beat the story or even before, which I personally thought it was a very nice touch as well. When it comes to overall improvements of the game to the previous version, I did a graphics comparison to it, and a lot of people said that the PS3 version looked better. Personally, I don't really think so. The lighting of it might look a bit weird compared to the original game, but obviously going from 720 to 1080p is a pretty significant difference, and I'm not even sure if it was in native 720p when the game originally came out. One of the things you're probably going to notice if you pay too much attention to it are the faces. They are still left back into the old generation, and obviously that's not something that was, I guess, redone. If you're expecting a remaster like you had with GTA 5, then you're unfortunately shit out of luck. I feel like this game was made for the Nintendo Switch and then ported to the PS4 and Xbox One. They wanted to make sure that the Nintendo Switch version would work just fine, would run fine, and would also look pretty good. And then I kind of just did the same thing with PS4 and Xbox One and then just rolled with it. I personally feel that they did a good job. The game looks good. It's not going to be winning any awards for the best looking game of all time, but it's a good looking game. It still looks good. Even on PS3 when I was playing the game, I was like, wow, this game has definitely held up the stands of time. Because think about it this way, this game is 6 years old, 6.5 years old even. Whenever I launched up my old save file, I saw a big giant 2011. I was like, wow, it's really been that long? Yes, it has. It just feels good to play once again. So for 40 bucks, it's entirely up to you. Do you have 40 bucks and are dying to replay this again? Go for it. You will not be disappointed. The story is still there. The story is still very solid, and it's still a very solid game. Now for those that have never played LA Noire, let me try and explain the game a little bit to you so you know what to expect whenever you first jump into the game. When you first jump in the game, you start off as a police officer, just kind of like roaming the streets and patrolling around. You work your ranks up and all that stuff up until you're the big badass detective Cole Phelps. But it also changes Cole Phelps in a person as well, which is really interesting to see. Cole Phelps is definitely a very interesting character, and there's a lot of depth to the story itself as well. Kind of the way gameplay should be seen, not a lot of very high action stuff. There are some action stuff in there. You're not going to be solely, looking around and digging through graves to find out who did it. But that's the majority of the game for sure. You start off with a case and you try to find clues and whatnot to figure out who did it, why they did it, and how they did it. An example is being shown on your screen right now. There was a gigantic explosion in his factory, and through searching for clues and also trying to find the right answers to the questions with those clues that you have found, you can uncover truth but also lies. Obviously, the key to this game is that you find the right clues and you use those clues to catch someone lying. If you fail to do so, you're going to get the wrong answer, leading to not only getting a 4-star or even less than that case, you also run into the risk of pointing the finger to the wrong guy. It doesn't have a major impact in the game after that, but it does make you feel like, oh shit, I just really messed that up. And I think that's one of the more interesting things about LA Noire. It really challenges you to search every place from top to bottom and try to find the right clues with the right questions and the right answers as well. It makes for a very solid game which has a lot of depth in it because of that. The reading of the faces is obviously something that throughout the game gets more and more difficult, and it really challenges you to keep an eye or a notebook of what clues you have and what lies you might be able to catch with those clues as well. So should you expect a game like GTA? No, definitely not. You're not going to be running around, you know, punching hookers in the face and taking names. You're gonna be, it's a pretty chill game. It's something that is possible to be played 5 minutes before you go to bed, is kind of how I would class this game. It sounds a bit silly, but it's not a Call of Duty game, for example, where you jump into a game, you're gonna be pumped full of adrenaline and just go for it. No. I personally think that's one of the nicer things about LA Noire. It's one of those games where you can grab your favorite beverage, sit back and just enjoy the game. It's, in other ways, it can be seen as a movie. And another very cool touch about this game is that you're also able to play this in black and white. Personally, I've never done it, but for those purists out there who want to get a true noir experience, this is for you. Have fun with it. And that's how I personally think that I could probably describe LA Noire the best. Obviously, if you have anything to add, then feel free to do that in the comment section down below. But I figured I'd answer the question never having beat the game again, because it's been 6 years, and I have to say, I really did miss this game. It's a ton of fun to play. It's just a nice and relaxing game that also challenges you in many ways, which is very, very nice indeed. Although I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of the shooting, but it also might be me not being too familiar with the kind of controls. With all that said and done, thank you so very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all later.